Coach, the offense has played well, especially in the first half. And the second half, from a point production, it kind of falls off. When you look at the film, what are you seeing that's happening in the second half, especially the last two games?
Yeah, just got to continue to execute. That's the thing we go back and we evaluate and we identify. It's really just a lack of execution. Some just missing some things here and there schematically. Either up front or in our pass team. So those are things we've identified. Those are things that we've already focused on and we have addressed with our guys, and they don't understand. And it's something that we're encouraged about and motivated about making and getting better.
Sterlin, when you're putting together a game plan and you think about targets for each receiver, do you go into it with, hey, let's get a do you want it to be spread across the board, or is there you want to get specific guys more chances than others? How does that work out?
I think you want to – we feel strong about distributing the ball to all of our playmakers, whether it be the running backs, the quarterbacks, even those receivers. So that's something going into each week, just depending on what we're getting, on the defense's part and what those guys are giving us to do or we're able to go do. So it just kind of depends game by game and can even depend quarter by quarter what kind of production and where the ball needs to go, depending on what you're getting on that other side of the ball.
Great, Max.
Sterlin, a lot of expectations are put on the starting quarterback of Texas. How do you see Shane kind of handling that, coping with that?
I think he's done a really good job being as young as he is. That's the thing. Everybody's just got to remember this kid is a true freshman. So he's been on campus a short amount of time. And he's at obviously one of the premier universities in the nation. But he's done a really good job. He continues to grow. He continues to stay focused. That's the thing that's impressive about him day in and day out is he follows our deal of never too high, never too low, always in the middle. And he's pretty even keel. I think you can maybe attribute some of that to how he grew up, how he was raised, and being fortunate enough to be the son of a professional ball player. So his parents did a great job with that. And I think it's still at the end of the day, Shane's down here by himself, and he's a college kid, and he's a student athlete. So, he's just been great about that and being able to continue to be a student here at the university and then continue to work and improve as a quarterback of our football team.
Over here on the left, Danny.
What has been your thoughts about the development of your freshman running back and your freshman running backs, and what should we expect to see from them with Chris out?
Those guys just got to continue to grow. Kyle, you really put Shaq and Shane and Kyle all really in the same realm. They're just young, and they don't. Every game is just a new experience, a new rep for them, and a growth rep for them. So we're just trying to speed up their process and get those guys to understand and know what their part is in the scheme, and where they fit in.
Right, Joe.
Coach, you coached against Oklahoma last year, but it wasn't on a rivalry game of this scale. What does this game mean to you now that it's as big as it is for this program?
Yeah, it's exciting. When you get here and you talk to former players and former coaches and guys that are currently here, our players and our coaches, they share a lot of the experiences and what the expectations are and what the environment sets on Saturday. And, growing up in Texas, a Texas high school football coach, I was never fortunate enough. I've never been fortunate enough to go to the game. So Saturday will be my first Red River Shootout, and I'm excited about the Texas OU game. So it's been enjoyable, it's been motivating and anxious about feeling and seeing the emotions that come with the game and the atmosphere that it provides.
Right, Michael.
Sterlin, why do you think John Burt's production has really dropped off after a really strong week one?
Part of it was he battled an injury there around week 2 and through the open week with his hand, and that's something that has progressively gotten better with him. So that's something that affected him after the Notre Dame game.
I guess Jake Oliver kind of got a fresh slate with you coming in, but what has kind of been the key to his development this year, and why has he kind of stood out as opposed to the last couple of years when he was a role player, special teams player?
Just going back and being able to identify these kids and evaluate these kids through the spring. And what you get with Jake, I think I've said it in here before to y'all, if he still is the all-time reception leader in the state of Texas, y'all know how good of football players have came through this state and year in, year out for a long, long, long time. And for that guy to be the all-time reception leader, that acquires and deserves some attention. So when we got on campus and you get here and then you realize he's a big kid, And then he's got those kind of ball skills. He's got those kind of understanding the space, where to be at, how to fit in space, how to run routes. And those kind of things are attributes we're looking for in receivers that fit in this offense, in our scheme. So that's a guy that once you go through evaluations and once you get through kind of dust off everything and they start understanding the scheme of what we were trying to get accomplished, and really you get to the back end of spring ball, the early part of two-a-days, you're kind of like, wow, this kid's impressive, and this kid's going to be a fit and a part of what we want to do offensively.
Brian?
Sterlin, you guys had high hopes for Gerard as a receiver, and these last few weeks, especially Saturday, he caught some very difficult balls in traffic. What's been your impressions of him through 4 games, and value? How do you value him as a target now going forward?
And I've said it before, just the transition for that's not easy. As great as an athlete he is, and as skilled as he is, you got to realize on the other side of the ball, those guys are skilled too, and they've been doing what they do for a long amount of time. And a lot of those guys haven't transitioned to different positions on the defensive side of the ball. So he's going against guys that are skilled, that have been doing what they do as either a nickel back or a safety. Those guys have done that a long time. So for him to do what he's doing and executing at the level he's doing it at right now is impressive, and it's motivating for us. The thing we want to see and continue to get out of him is growth, and just stay focused, continue to grow. Every day get better. Every day, each rep that you take, you got to grow on that rep. You got to understand, you got to see pictures. So those are things and expectations that we've set on him, since that position change happened.
All right, Anwar?
Coach, we all know that the defense has been struggling a little bit. And as an OC, do you look at it and say, if the defense is giving up 50, then we've got to put up 51, 52? Or, do you feel like you have to do more until the defense comes around?
No, you said it. It's black and white. If they give up 50, we need to score 51. And that's our attitude, and that's our mentality.
Coach, who do you plan to play at running back behind Porter and Foreman this weekend?
Right now, Kyle, you got Kyle and you got Tristan Houston. And right now, those are the guys that we're really looking at right there that are going to fill in for Chris. And, we still have our 18-wheeler package.
Anything else?
So Tristan behind Kyle, would you expect him to get some playing time?
Probably so.
Should we expect to see an increased 18-wheeler package, especially with Warren out?
Possibly. Again, it just whatever we go into the game with and whatever we need to move the football. If it's that, then it's that. And if it's we need to throw the ball around and stay in a different personnel set, then that's what we'll do.
Max up front?
We talked about Shane and how he's just handled it. Is he carrying himself like a big man on campus yet, or is he still a pretty quiet kid?
No, I don't. I'm not on campus with him. I just know when he comes in this building, he's Shane Buechele, and that kid's humble. He's focused. I know he's made some comments to y'all about not being that guy, which that's him. He's speaking the truth when he's telling you that. So he doesn't feel that way. His focus is on being better each and every day and being the best quarterback he can be at this time.
Over on the right, Anwar?
Coach, this is just more schematics. I notice a lot of your plays, so passing plays kind of go from sideline to sideline. We don't always see a lot of things over the middle of the field. Is that just basically the design of your offense, or is that just the reads by Shane?
Just some reads, and there's, again, with our scheme and what we want to do, there's things that, we can get all over the field if we need to, and that's just something that hasn't been in our game plan as of right now.
We all set? Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.